Hey guys, I just watched Child's Play 2 on Netflix Instant Play. By the way, Netflix, you could send me some money anytime you want, especially if people start watching. And why did I watch Child's Play 2? Because I have a soft spot in my heart for them, for the movies. Uh, I just always liked them ever since I was little, and I think they worked better for their time, like back when they were released, and also the fact that I was a little kid. I think they're good horror movies for a little kid. I mean, I like the this template that uh, of like a little kid defending himself against some evil in the world, and none of the adults believe in him. Like, yeah, that's been done a bunch of times, but I've always really liked that kind of story since I was little. And when you're little, you identify with it, so it's like a boy on an adventure. So like the first Child's Play was, if you're not familiar with the series, you probably are. But first Child's Play was about this killer doll. Okay, what happened is this serial killer was being hunted down by a cop. He runs into a toy store, and the serial killer just so happens to know voodoo, and he possesses the doll. I think he before he dies or something, maybe he was shot, and he like possesses the doll. And then then we meet our main characters. It was just like a widowed mom and her son, and he wants a good guy doll for Christmas. It's like a Cabbage Patch doll. That's what they were based off of. Actually, yeah, it's like an '80s talking doll, and it would be like, "Hi, I'm Chucky. You want to play?" And he sees a commercial for it on the son sees a commercial for it on TV, and he wants it. So she doesn't have to make a lot of money. She buys a good guy doll off of some like bum in an alley or something, and it just so happens that's the one that was possessed by Charles Lee Ray, who's played by Brad Dourif. And so it's an evil doll that's like comes to life and starts killing people, and only the boy he reveals himself to the boy, and only the boy knows who he is. And no one believes him that there's this doll running around killing people. So I think Chucky starts bleeding or something at some point, or he feels pain. This is the possessed doll, and he is confused by what's going on. So he goes to see his old like voodoo master, mentor, whatever. And the guy's like tells him that the longer he stays inside the doll's body, the more it becomes organic, the more he becomes human in it, the more he becomes a real boy. And so he must get out of it. He has to transfer his soul quickly, or he's going to be stuck in the doll forever. But the catch is he can only transfer himself into the person he first revealed himself to, which is the little boy, Andy. And that's the first one. They kill him at the end. It's cool. He goes through his cool transformation, and it becomes more scary looking. The doll, he gets burned, and he looks all gory and burned. And he does the transformation in Child's Play too, also, which I'll talk about maybe. But so now in the sequel, since Andy's mom believes in him, she's been put in like a mental institution or something, and like Andy's like in like an orphanage, and he gets adopted by some foster parents, conveniently in a Chicago suburb, right in the same location as the first one, basically. And the doll, meanwhile, instead of being in like police evidence or something, or it somehow gets back into the hands of the makers of the Good Guy dolls. I forgot the name of the company, but it gets back into their hands. And a lot of this movie's cheesy and st- you know stupid in some ways, and a lot of it doesn't make sense. Like for some reason, they put the doll back together, completely restore it, instead of just like taking it apart, looking at its voice box or something. Is they just They completely put it back together, and one of the one of the execs of the company, or like executive assistant or something, takes the doll out of the factory or out of their lab or whatever, and takes it home. There's also some like stupid inconsistencies in this, like the guy that takes the doll home, he puts Chucky in the trunk of his car, but then when he stops for vodka on the way home, Chucky's all of a sudden in the back seat somehow, and he thinks nothing of it, and then he gets strangled and killed. And so that's the second one. That's Child's Play 2. Andy in a foster home, Chucky tracks him down. Straight action pretty much throughout from there. A couple things I liked. Uh, I like the introduction of this other foster kid that he has to live with, like basically a foster sister. This girl named Kyle, who I forgot the actress's name, but she's done a whole lot of nothing since it. Christina Elise. She's done like one episode here and there of a bunch of TV shows. I remember when I was little, I thought this chick was hot, and she is pretty hot. You know, as I watched it again today, I was like, yeah. I kind of like how they were like Andy and her had to like look out for each other, and they were both in the same like sucky situation. But the movie, it doesn't have a lot of substance. It's not as good as the first one. The first one was actually kind of scary. This one's not scary. It's more fun. This is just a very fast-paced. You're in and out. 90 minutes, maybe 89. Who knows? It doesn't stop to take a breath. It's just Chucky killing people left and right, one by one. Big set piece ending. There's your. It doesn't even slow down for like any sort of like epilogue at the end. It's just like they kill him again, and Andy's like to his foster sister Kyle. He's like, "Where are we going now?" She's like, "Home." He's like, "Where's that?" She's like, "I have no idea," or "That's a good question." That's it. Credits start rolling. So sorry to ruin the end, but this is an older movie. I'm assuming people have seen it. Uh, but I liked this one when I was little a lot. Never as much as the first one, but this is probably my second favorite in the series. And I kind of like every kind of every Child's Play somewhat to some degree. I know a lot of people don't really like these movies and they think they're goofy and they're like not scared of the fact that it's a doll, but the doll is what got me into the series in the first place. Like when I first saw him when I was little, he did scare me. He was scary as hell, and I thought it was impressive, puppetry or whatever they're doing. And I still think Brad Dourif's voice is just so perfect for this role. It makes it work. It makes it a memorable character. That's why people know who Chucky is. I think if it was someone else's voice, or if the puppetry wasn't quite as good as it is, you would never have seen a sequel. So, again, as for Child's Play 2, when I was little, I thought it was the most fun out of the series. And I still kind of think. I mean, I haven't rewatched the other ones again lately, but it was how I remembered it. It wasn't as great as when I was little watching it, but it was entertaining and fast paced. Even if you don't like it, you're in and out quickly. And I think it entertains enough throughout, especially as a cool ending in this factory, which also like a lot of the stuff in this factory going on doesn't make sense, but it was fun, and it was fun seeing it as a kid with a kid's imagination. All this, that's where the big end showdown is in the Good Guy Dolls factory, which they just coincidentally end up at. So I still think it's one of the most fun out of the 4 or 5 movies that there are. Give it a watch.